Well, hello. My name is Krista Sanseverino, and I'm very excited to get to share with you some of the things that I learned in my Assemblies of God History, Missions, and Governance class. Today, I'm going to be focusing on a topic that I believe gets overlooked many times when people are being trained for ministry and pastoral leadership, and that is how to manage the church. You see, yes, as pastors, we are first and foremost called to preach the word of God and to equip the saints for the work of the ministry. But our efforts, they will not get us very far if our leadership and our management skills are weak. I read a quote from Richard Dresselhaus that said, "The ticket to the pulpit is bought with management dollars. Fail to manage, and soon you will fail to preach." It's just that simple. Very rarely would you hear of a pastor who's fired solely because of his speaking abilities or because of a lack of work ethic. In most cases, when a pastorate fails, it has to do with a lack of management skills, a failure to manage time, people, family, or finance as well. That is going to result in not having an effective ministry. Now, obviously, as a pastor, having knowledge of the Bible and theology is of the utmost importance, but there are also some practical leadership skills that are needed. You see, a pastor must have a basic understanding of how the church's administration systems work. How can a system function properly unless the people in charge understand the system and how it works? Once a pastor understands the system and the leadership structure of the church, then they must go about the business of building healthy and effective teams. And I believe that one of the keys to having a healthy team and building a healthy team is to build trust. Building trust, it takes time, and trust can be hard to earn, but it's very easy to lose. And so I want to talk about two ways that you can build trust in your team. And the first way that you can build trust is by being as open, honest, and transparent as possible. We have to be open and honest. People don't trust perfect people, they trust real people. And so if you try to appear like you've never struggled and you always have everything together, people will see through that and they won't be able to trust and to relate to you. Another way to build trust is by communicating expectations. Yeah, don't make people guess what you need and guess what you expect for them. You need to set your expectations clearly, and trust is built when people know what they can expect from you as a leader, and then also what you expect from them as part of the team. It should not be a guessing game. We need to define a clear target for our teams to hit. Building trust, it is a journey and it needs constant nurturing and attention, especially as new people join your team. Now, once a pastor understands the administrative systems and has built a healthy team that trust him and trust each other, then they must commit to the long view. Great ministries, they're not built overnight. They take time and dedication and they take effort. I have often heard it said that we overestimate what we can do in a year and we underestimate what we can do in 10. As leaders, we must be prepared to outlast the obstacles that may come against us. Effective leadership must be willing to weather the storms and overcome the strategies of the enemy. In conclusion, as pastors, we are not owners of the church. No, the church belongs to God. The people, they're not our people, they're God's people, but He has placed them in our care for a season and for a reason, and we need to manage and steward that well. In Ephesians chapter 1, verse 18, Paul wrote, and he said, I pray that the eyes of your heart may be enlightened, in order that you may know the hope to which he has called you, the riches of his glorious inheritance in his holy people. Pastors, let's make sure that we stay focused on managing and stewarding God's inheritance well. Thank you very much.